I am so excited to see so many people talking about perimenopause and menopause. But honestly, it is a long time coming and way past due. For literally hundreds of years, society hasn't wanted to talk about menopause. And when they do, they make it sound terrible. So Walgreens is helping women change the perception and take back our narrative. Because nothing is sexier than being in control. Let's reframe menopause together. Join the hashtag #MenopauseIsHot conversation and help reframe menopause.
When it comes to back-to-school shopping at Target, we believe the best choice is all of the above. From first-day butterflies to last-day high fives and everything in between. At prices that will definitely make your day. For all of the above, it's back to school at Target.
If you are a car salesman or a real estate agent and you're like, I got to close some business this week, that lights a fire. That changes the strategy. One is like do work, one is get results. And I promise you, the result list will get you closer to who you want to be and teach you how to function inside of each and every week so that you learn like, oh, this is what it takes. It takes real strategic effort to get the results that you need. But if you are not calling the shot of the result that you want, that might be why you are not making the progress you hoped that you would have made by this point this year. Hey guys, it's Rach. Welcome to the show. I'm so glad that you're here with us today. And I have a favor, which sounds kind of harsh if we just met, but I'm assuming that most of you have been a part of this community for a hot minute. And so I gotta ask, are you subscribed to the podcast? Subscribing to the podcast you listen to regularly is one of the best things that you can do for hosts like me. It helps to support the show and the staff that works on it. It ensures that you never miss an episode when we drop a new one. And here's the cool thing about subscribing. If you do it and then you hate this show, just unsubscribe. It's one click away. In the meantime, if you're listening, we would so appreciate it if you would just tap that button and make it official. Hey guys, it's Rach. Welcome to another episode of the show. It's a Friday episode. We are deep in the heart of July, and I'm going to be honest, I'm already gearing up for the fall. I don't want to give too many spoilers away, but we have some really exciting things coming this fall, and I'm so excited to tell you all about them. And I don't know about you, but do you ever I'm trying to think of an example. Maybe this could be something in your work. Maybe it's something like with your house. Maybe you're looking forward to something. But when you've figured out a new direction that you're going, it's really hard to keep in the direction that you're at. Did that even make sense? Let me say it a different way. I'm not very good with limbo. And I feel like, weirdly, my life has involved a lot of seasons of waiting. So many, many years waiting inside the adoption journey, sort of waiting in limbo, moving from one city to another. When you decide you're going to move several states away and you got 4 kids, it's sort of a limbo. I don't know about y'all, but I really like to. Once I've made a decision, I want to go. I want to be in the new place. I want to be decorating the new house. I want to be doing the things. So as much as I have been forced to endure the limbo many times, I wouldn't say that I'm awesome at it. But whatever, here we are. And I'm in more than one limbo right now. So I'm in my house is fully under construction. We'll do a whole thing on that. But my house is fully under construction, and we had some time in Hawaii, which has been amazing. We've had some time in Hawaii And we very strategically planned this. We were like, we'll go to Hawaii because we always come here with the kids in summer. And then we'll just have everything in the new house, like just have them rip down all the walls and do all the things as much as they can get done while we're gone. But I mean, any minute now we're headed back to the chaos. So that's one limbo, is like, okay, we're sort of in between homes, and then we're going to go into this space that is absolutely not done. And then the other limbo is work related. So I have, like I said, a bunch of stuff coming this fall, and I'm really excited to share it with you guys. And I sort of want to be out of the summer content already, which is ridiculous because it's July. We're deep in summer. But I just love fall. I love back to school. I love sort of the organization stuff that shows up. I mean, don't even get me into the pumpkins and Halloween and all of it. I'm rushing. I'm not trying to be like Target, where I literally was at Target yesterday. It's July. It's like beginning of July, just for clarity. And they're already doing the back to school. I mean, it's a lot. I'm not trying to rush you, but at least for me personally, I love the fall content that's coming. And so as much as I want to do these like light and breezy summer episodes, I can just hear some of you laughing right now, because every Friday episode, I'm like, I know it's supposed to be light and breezy, but I had this idea. And that's what's happening again today. This is a little bit more like organized productivity. I can't help myself, I can't do it. And the inspiration for this episode actually came from a few things in a row showing up in life where I would be talking to other business owners. And this is like every kind of business you can imagine, consultants, or I was getting tattoos this morning. That is like a real thing that happened. I'll reveal them soon on Instagram if anyone cares. One of them, I have to tell you, it's so special, you guys. Sorry, this episode will just, it's not going to be summer themed, but it will be going down some rabbit trails. We're going to go all over the place. But can I just tell you guys about this one tattoo I got? I got 3 tattoos today. And I did that because I've been wanting new tattoos for several years. And I've had a hard time finding an artist that I like. And I knew what I wanted. And honestly, the easiest way for me to actually get tattoos is to just book a session and do them all at once. So all of that to say, I got 3 tattoos. One of them is my brother's handwriting. So I, several years ago, asked my mom if she had anything that Ryan had written his name on. If you don't know this about me, my brother passed away when I was 14. And I was very close to him, and it's been a really long time. But those of you who've lost someone know it doesn't matter how much time passes, you still really miss them. And so I wanted somewhere on my body, I wanted like a tattoo with his handwriting. And she sent me this like drawing that he had done when he was very little, like, when you're like first figuring out how to write your name. So she sent me this drawing, and he had written his name, Ryan. And I was looking at him like, that's so beautiful. Like I'll just have that tattooed on me somewhere. As I was looking at the words, I realized, and I'm going to call this sort of divine, I felt this little like tap on my shoulder, that I could use those letters to make a different word. And what was so like obvious as soon as I thought that was a message that my brother has sent me almost every time I have talked to a medium or a psychic or anyone who had any sort of intuitive anything over the years. They have told me again and again, your brother's here and he wants to give you a message. And it is always some version of, you work too hard, don't forget to play. Like I have gotten some version of different people. I give them no backstory. And I have gotten the same message over and over, play. So I realized that RYAN has all of the components to spell the word play. One of the tattoos I got today, it's so cute. She took his writing of his name, this little kid writing, and she rearranged the letters and made it in his writing the word play. So I have that on my wrist now, and I love it. Sorry, I went down a rabbit hole, but I thought you'd like that cute story. So I'm getting a tattoo today, and while I'm there, I'm talking to the owner of the tattoo parlor and the tattoo artist that's doing my tats. And I'm talking to them about business, and I was talking about marketing and all of these things. And I was saying how hard it has been to find an artist that I like. Kind of every time I come to Hawaii, I get an itch to get a tattoo. But for years, I've been trying to find someone and I can't find anybody. And I think it's always funny when you're talking to a business owner. And this is for any of you who are entrepreneurs or you have a side hustle. I think you would be shocked how many people are looking for your exact business or your exact service and they can't find it. Like, how many people would love to hire you, but they don't know that you exist? And this is a really hard part about being in business. You have to let people know that your work is there. You have to let people know that you are available. You know me. I just met these people 5 minutes ago and I start like coaching them like, okay, well, you should be doing this. And like, I know nobody really loves doing social media, but that is a fantastic, you have this really beautiful visual medium. Like, what are you doing for social content? Are you working with local influencers? Like, I just started like wrapping off all this stuff to them. And the guy who owns a shop is like, okay, but if I was going to do content, like, I don't understand how to fit creating content in with the actual work that I do. He's like, I don't like making content. I'm like, bro, I know you don't, but it is so important. So I start like telling him, like, because I had seen him while I was getting my tattoos. He was in the corner. The tattoo spot, really cool, great artwork, great vibe. He looks cool. He's like got tats and a hat and the whole thing. And the whole time I'm getting tattoos, he's in the corner drawing. Like, he's working, I assume, on art for people. And I said, why didn't you just set up your phone and get B-roll of you drawing? And I could see a light bulb go off in his head, like, oh, that had never occurred to him, right? I'm like, you could do so much with just B-roll of you doing your job. So I start saying all these things to him. But what is more powerful for me in that moment is that you and I have these things in our lives that are so obvious to us because it works for us and we've done it a million times. And to someone else, that idea is mind-blowing. Like, it never occurred to them to do this thing that's very obvious to you. When I had this interaction with him, and I've had a few moments lately with different people and different businesses where I'm like, why aren't you doing this? And they're like, oh, shoot. Okay, that didn't occur to me. I thought, I really take for granted simple things that help me in my life that I think are too simple to do podcast episodes about. Because I'm like, well, you guys know it. The guys know it, but maybe you don't. And that is the impetus for today's episode about lists. Yes, L-I-S-T, lists. 3 lists that are really helpful in organizing my brain and helping me to be productive, making sure I don't forget things. Like, this is super simple, but I'm going to just go off the fact that maybe you haven't thought of this before, and that's what we're going to talk about today. And yes, we took a circuitous route to get to the start of these lists, but I wanted to give you a little backstory on why I thought they might be helpful. Visiting South Dakota was always one of my someday things. Like, well, someday I'm going to go see the Dakotas, and someday I'm going to walk through Badlands National Park, and someday I'm going to see Mount Rushmore in person. And then a couple summers ago, I just made someday today, and it was awesome. The kids and I had the most amazing time. We went hiking. We saw Mount Rushmore, which is like shockingly more majestic than you think it would be. We had amazing dinners. We stayed in this awesome log cabin in a national park. It was truly one of our favorite family vacations. And I loved it because it was this great blend of seeing a part of the US I'd never seen before and being outside in nature. So maybe it's time you turn someday into today. See why there's so much South Dakota and so little time. Plan your escape at travelsouthdakota.com. My favorite part about Thrive Market is that I don't have to think about it. As a mom of 4 kids trying to get dinner on the table, make sure there are enough snacks in the pantry and items to fill their lunch boxes, it is so nice to not have to think about whether or not the ingredients and what I'm shopping for are actually good for my family. This is the beauty of Thrive Market. It's your favorite health food store, but online and way more affordable. Not only can I get my favorite products, but I also always find brand new ones that I didn't know existed. Things like Ora Bora sparkling water or Unreal dark chocolate bars with coconut. Oh my gosh, have you guys had those? Thrive has supplements, household items, and clean beauty too. All of their items are vetted and all way more affordable than you think. Skip the junk without overspending. Head to thrivemarket.com/rach to get 30% off your first order and a free $60 gift. That's thrivemarket.com/rach, thrivemarket.com/RACH. Let's jump in with my most favorite list. If you have been in my community for more than 5 minutes, you've probably heard me talk about it. And I don't care because I just stand by this idea and how powerful it is. And that is the results list. Even if you've heard me talk about the results list before, will you just not fast forward this part? Because maybe there's something in this that you need to be reminded of. Now, let me do a little backup and explain where this came from. I think everybody on the planet at some point has created a to-do list. Most people talk about the things they need to do. When I was 20, that was so cute. My to-do list was so cute at 20 because I only had to worry about myself and my husband at the time. I had a job. I had a townhouse. I didn't have children. I didn't have, a business that is as much responsibility as the one I have today. I just it was my to-do list was get apples, it was get toilet paper. It was so simple. The more intricate life became, and for you, that could look like, you're in college and you're trying to figure out how to manage all the things. Maybe you're in your first job. Maybe you are newly married and you are working. Maybe you are a parent. Maybe you are empty nester. Anybody who has a life that is complex. The to-do list it's almost like white noise because there is so many things that can go on the to-do list. And people can have to-do lists all day, and it's not necessarily productive. The reason a to-do list is not productive is because human nature is that we want to cross off as many items as we can. And because we want the dopamine hit of crossing an item off the to-do list, we will start with the easiest things to accomplish. And my friends, the easiest things to accomplish are rarely the things that are going to get you closer to your personal or professional goals. Think about it. Think about it. Have you ever put something on a to-do list that you have already accomplished just so you can cross it off? I've done that so many. I'm I already got the car wash. So I'm crossing it off. It's so ridiculous. You don't need a list of more things to accomplish because if your life is like mine, that list could be 100 miles long. What is way more effective then is to focus on the result that you need to produce. So here's an easy example. Let's go back to this idea of business really quickly. And let's imagine that let's go with my tattoo guy, right? You own a local tattoo parlor. I don't even know if they're called parlors anymore. So if that word is not right, my apologies. You own a local tattoo place and you decide that you want to do some collaborations with local influencers. P.S. If I was your business coach and you owned a tattoo place, this is the first thing I'd tell you to do. So here's some like free coaching advice. I would absolutely want to collaborate with local influencers who already have tattoos. It would be amazing if you could find any influencer who's dreaming of a tattoo, but that feels really hard, right? So local influencers who already have tattoos and you want to collaborate with them on getting a new tattoo at your spot. But in order to do that, you've got to narrow down who you would go after. So that involves researching and finding, let's say you're going to reach out to 5 people to find one that wants to collaborate with you. I actually think your numbers would be way better because most people who love tattoos would definitely love a tattoo hookup, but that's neither here nor there. Let's say that you figure out that you need to reach out to 5 people in order to get one to say yes. Well, in order to reach out to 5 people, you probably have to find 10, 15, 20 that are local influencers, but may or may not have the right look. So you've got some research that you need to do. You've got some outreach that you need to do, and you've got some finalization that you need to do to get this person into the door to come and make some content around getting a tattoo at your shop. Yeah. Those could be a lot of little to-dos. You could be like, do research, find person, like all of those can be minutia. The problem occurs when the minutia is too vague. If you're wanting to start a business and like do research, if you want to, find influencers to collaborate with, do research. So what's that research? You're going to go scroll Instagram for an hour and a half and then you did something, but you didn't get closer to the goal, which was to finalize a collaboration, right? So if instead your list said book influencer for collaboration, you are not focused on it's like the itty bitty pieces. You are focused on one result. A result list packs a punch, and the thing on the list might have 100 steps between where you are and where you are getting to. But if you said, my result list is this one thing, I usually like to do 3 a week, and they're all needle movers, but the results are big. They are impactful. They move you closer to the goal. So another great example is like to do, go to the gym. To do, go on a run. Instead of the result, run 10 miles this week. That's a result. And do you see how that is so much more specific and traction-based than, quote, workout? I love the result list because it's tactical. It's like, this is what we are going to do to get us closer to who we want to be. And you can apply the result to anything. Your result could be meal prep for the week. Like it's done, it's in the fridge, it's ready to go. The to-dos for that is like go to the grocery store, do some shopping, prep the carrots. Like there's all these little bits and pieces, but it's not the full finalized like project. So my results for this week when it comes to the podcast are completed episodes for Jack. That is what my result list looks like. It is not record. It's not research. It's not plan episodes. The result that I need in order to do the job and in order to do my part of this team effort with producer Jack and Andrew, who's the editor, my job is to record this for you. If you focus on the result that you are wanting to accomplish, I swear, you guys, the progress that you start to make is phenomenal. And it removes your ability to cheat. It removes your ability to tell yourself that you did work today or to tell yourself that you put effort into who you're trying to become, but it's like, it's not real effort. Eat healthy. What does that mean? Right? Work out. What does that mean? Drink water. What does that mean? Tell me specifically the result that you want on the other side of this. Pitch people for new business. Okay, so what you could pitch one potential client. Did that get you closer to where you want to go? No. Here's a result for the week. 10 face-to-face interactions with potential clients and closing one deal. I made that up. I don't even know what consultation business this is. If you are a car salesman or a real estate agent and you're like, I got to close some business this week, that lights a fire. That changes the strategy. One is like do work, one is get results. And I promise you, the result list will get you closer to who you want to be and teach you how to function inside of each and every week so that you learn like, oh, this is what it takes. It takes real strategic effort to get the results that you need. But if you are not calling the shot of the result that you want, that might be why you are not making the progress you hoped that you would have made by this point this year. Try the results list instead of the to-do list. A to-do list ends up being 25 bullet points long. My result list for the week is 3 things. Like if I accomplish these 3 things, I know I'm really crushing it. The result list, I'm a massive fan. I hope you'll try it out. I love having people over to my house for dinner. I love a holiday party. I love a summer barbecue. I love any reason to have guests come over. It's one of my favorite things to do. And truth be told, when guests come over, I actually clean more intensely than I normally would. I usually will get like fresh flowers. I'll do a little extra something so that the house looks even better than it does regularly. And if you are like me, you gotta look at what's going on at Wayfair this summer. There's something for every style and every home, no matter your space or budget. There's free and easy delivery, even on the big stuff. Like as I'm looking for things for the new house, like you can have a bed delivered, you can get an armoire, you can get full tile for your bathroom. No more huge delivery fees for patio furniture. Get the sets, the gazebos, the hot tubs, outdoor dining, and more. Shop outdoor furniture, grills, lawn games, and way more for way less. Head to wayfair.com right now to explore a huge outdoor selection. That's WAYFAIR.com. Wayfair. Every style, every home. This is an ad by BetterHelp. I know a lot of you are like me, entrepreneurs or people who have that side hustle. You've got a dream, you've got a goal, and that can be amazing. And it can also be super stressful to balance all of those things and show up for our lives the way we want to. Most of us can't just wave goodbye to work and instantly start our wellness routine the second that we leave the office or the second that we close that laptop. But therapy can be an incredible resource to help you figure out how to transition between one and the other. With over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served over 5 million people globally. As the largest online therapy provider in the world, BetterHelp can provide access to mental health professionals with a diverse variety of expertise. So whatever you're going through, there is a therapist that specializes in it. My listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/rach. That's better, HELP.com/rach. My second list that you might not think about is the digital brain dump. Okay, so this is like my ongoing catch-all list in my notes app, I have everything that pops into my brain goes into my notes app. In fact, if you ever open my notes app, you'd be like, oh, she's actually a sociopath. Like it doesn't make it's like crazy. It doesn't necessarily make sense. But like podcast ideas that I get or stuff I want to try on social or a gift idea I'll get for Kez for Christmas, but it's July, so it doesn't make sense. But like in December, I'm going to wish that I had written that thing down. Anything that pops into my brain, I get it out of my brain and on paper. Now, when I was younger, I would put this in a notebook, but honestly, I just have my phone with me all the time, and I think it's way easier to keep it in your phone. And there's actually science behind why this works so well. So, according to David Allen, who's the creator of Getting Things Done, your brain isn't designed to hold ideas. Your brain is designed to process ideas. So when you try and remember too many things, your brain is constantly under stress. There's something called cognitive offloading, and it shows that writing things down frees mental space and reduces anxiety because you're not putting the stress on your brain to remember that you need to do the thing. So honestly, I just put everything that comes into my head into that spot. Now, if your brain tends to jump all around like mine does, I would highly recommend that you put a header on the notes. Don't just go in and like write random things. So I have a note that says podcast ideas. I have a note that says social ideas, gifts, workouts, like so many random things are in there, but it's pretty easy for me to find and it's easy for me to add to. Can I also add one thing too that just popped into my head? It's not in the notes on my phone, but if you have to create content for work, and I know a lot of you have different jobs that you, for whatever reason, you're putting stuff out into the world based on content. You like tell people about your job. Like, let's go back to Tattoo Guy again. I bookmark stuff that I see that I'm like, oh, that would be so smart. Like I literally saw one today that a dentist did. It was a dentist. And I was like, that's so cute. I could do a version of this thing the dentist did. So I'll just bookmark it and I save it in bookmarks under like social or something. I guess what I'm trying to say is make it as easy as possible for you to remember the things that you wanted to do when you're not in the frame of mind that you're in right now. I also have a bookmark for workouts. You know how you're scrolling Instagram and like you'll see someone doing a workout. You're like, oh, that's kind of a cool idea. Or I see running coaches who are talking about different styles of running. I will bookmark just workouts that I'm like, hey, the next time that I'm at the gym and I'm feeling a little bored with my leg day, let me go in and look at workouts and see if there's anything fun that I can try. So don't bet on your memory pulling that back up for you 6 weeks from now. So right now, in the moment, put it somewhere where you can access it when you need it. My last list, and also maybe my favorite, is the someday list. This list, as the name suggests, is about vision. It's about future. It's about the dreams you don't know how to accomplish yet, but you want to hold space for. Now, this list could be in a notebook, it could be in your notes app, it could take on a more physical form. So I've told y'all about this before, but all my biggest dreams are written on the side of champagne bottles. A very, very long time ago, I took a piece of washi tape and I wrote New York Times bestseller on the side of a very nice bottle of champagne. And I carried that champagne bottle from one house to another, from one office to another, same bottle, moved it all around for a decade. And every time one of my books would come out, I would hope and pray that this was the time that I got to pop that bottle. And it took a very long time. But when I finally became a New York Times bestseller, I got to open that bottle of champagne and celebrate, and it was so special. But also seeing that bottle in my fridge served as this visual reminder of the someday. of the dream, of where I was headed. Where focus goes, energy flows. What you are thinking about is what you manifest. I love making sure that my goals and dreams are available for me to see in all sorts of different places. So I have a crisper in my drinks fridge. Do y'all have a drinks fridge? Is this such an oaky thing of me? In my family, you always had a fridge in the garage or in the shed or in the laundry room that held the drinks. And ours holds LaCroix and sometimes beer and a crisper filled with champagne bottles that have my biggest dreams. I'm not going to tell you what those are. I promise that when they come true, I will post it somewhere where you can see. But my point is, have you had the courage to write down the dreams? No rules, no timeline, just a list of things you hope to do or feel or experience. Those of you who've ever used the Start Today journal will remember this, like the 10 dreams that you're working on that you want to make come true. Even if you don't have a Start Today journal or you never did that, this is your call, your reminder of the importance of calling your shot. You could do, I'm using air quotes, you could do a list in visual form. I love a Pinterest board, make a private Pinterest board and pin visuals that coincide with the dream, with the life that you're trying to create. But the bigger question is, have you figured it out? Have you figured out what you'd like to do someday? What your hopes are, what your dreams are, where you're trying to get to? And if you do have it figured out, have you ever had the courage to write it down? When I had the dream to be a New York Times bestseller, I'd never finished a book. I didn't just say, I want to finish book. I want to hold a book in my hands. That was definitely one of my dreams. But remember, I'm all about the result. And the result was like, oh, I don't just want a book. I want a book that sells at the highest level. And it took 6 books to get there. But I knew where I was headed. And every single time that I put something out, was like, okay, maybe this is it. Okay, nope, that wasn't it. Like, we're going to try again and we're going to work harder and we're going to become a better writer and we're going to become better at talking about our work. So maybe people want to pick it up and give it a read. But I knew where I was headed. And I remember, I really want to say this. Like, I remember being scared to write things down because I knew that my dreams were bigger than my husband would feel comfortable with. This was a long time ago. It was like a different life. I was a different person. I was much younger. But I knew that the kind of dreams that were on my heart were so big, it would freak him out. And I think some of you have dreams like that. I think some of you have hopes for yourself, for your family, for your business, for your children, that you wouldn't want to say to somebody else because you know they'd judge you for it. I think having the kind of dreams that someone would judge you for is a good thing because it means you're thinking outside of the box. It means you're thinking beyond where you are right now or even what you're capable of right now. You're calling your shot, and that's incredible. But it's really worth paying attention if you have a dream you are afraid of writing down. I don't want you to show it to them. If you think that someone's going to judge you, they probably are, sis. They probably are. If you think you'll be judged, don't show it. Don't give your power away. Don't give them the opportunity to make you feel bad about it. But do you have the courage to put it in your journal or write it in a Post-it or keep it in your wallet? Keep it somewhere that's safe and it's just for you. I know that there's a world where someone would tell you like, oh, just like put it out there and like they can suck it. And if they don't like it, whatever. But if you were raised to please other people, if you were raised to care about other people's opinions, which guess what? Most of us were, it's not so easy to have someone judge this piece of your heart. So don't. Keep it protected. Keep your energy around it. Keep it safe. But at the very least, have the courage to make the list for yourself. Just keep it in a spot only you can see, but have the courage to put it together. To recap, 3 of my favorite lists. You've got your result list, which is all about progress. It's about proof of progress. You've got your digital brain dump, which is about clearing up mental space and making sure those ideas that you want to use are available when you have the energy and the clarity to use them. And lastly, your someday list, which is your permission to dream. I don't know what kind of week you're having or what kind of week you're hoping to have, but if one of these lists kind of like set off a little bell for you, make it a new part of your routine. Add it to morning routine, drop it somewhere in your day, but take the time to do the thing that's going to make this week feel better than last week. All right, guys, I hope there was something in today's episode that you really dug. Also, if you're looking for something to dig, I have a broadcast channel on Instagram. I think I told you guys about this, but if I didn't yet, as far as I can tell, it's like a behind the scenes, like the diehard fans. It's just me giving you content, showing you random pictures of my outfits, leaving audio, like voice memos, like pumping you up. I'm just pretending that you're like my group chat, and I'm sending out several times a week different things in the broadcast channel. So if that's your jam, go ahead and check that out on Instagram. It's Ms. Rachel Hollis over there. And I will be back soon with more content. Until then, as always, I love you and I'm rooting for you. The Rachel Hollis Podcast is produced by me, Rachel Hollis. It's edited by Andrew Weller and Jack Noble. Have you ever noticed how celebrities have brighter, whiter looking eyes? Their makeup artists have a little secret in their kit: Lumify Redness Reliever Eye Drops. Lumify dramatically reduces redness in just 1 minute. It literally happens right before your eyes. It helps your eyes look brighter, whiter, and more awake for up to 8 hours. No wonder Lumify is so loved by influencers, celebrities, and makeup artists, and has over 6,000 5-star reviews on Amazon. Lumify is also the #1 eye doctor recommended redness reliever eye drop, and it's FDA approved. No bleach, no dyes, just incredible results. Plus, it's made by the eye care experts at Bausch & Lomb. So whether you're on set, on a date, or running on just a few hours of sleep, Lumify can help your eyes look brighter and whiter. When you try it, you'll see that it's what your eyes have been looking for. Check out LumifyEyes.com to learn more. Step into the freedom of summer with jewelry that reflects who you are and where you're going. From sunrise to sunset, Pandora jewelry transports you to paradise. No passport required. Think of things like ocean charms, colorful tennis bracelets. You can shop all of these new arrivals to add to your summer staples. Be unmissable and vacation ready. Feel it, live it, embrace it, be love. Shop in-store or online at pandora.net to discover new styles.